Hello there, beautiful souls. I'm so excited to see you. So today we have a pick a card reading on what makes you special. So I have 3 piles to choose from. We have pile number 1 with this white potion bottle here, pile number 2 with this light blue potion bottle here, and pile number 3 with this dark blue potion bottle here. Timestamps are down below, and I will see you in a moment. Bye now. Hello, my beautiful pile number 1s who chose this white potion bottle here. This reading is for you. Alright, pile 1, what makes you special or unique? Let's find out what makes you special or unique. Pile 1. Let's see, what makes you special or unique? Pile 1. You have the Age of Light. You've been training for this for lifetimes. So what makes you guys special or unique is that, I heard you're very much in alignment. So you very much have worked on yourself. Some of you guys have healed all your chakras or really worked to keep your chakras all in balance. Or just are in alignment in general with their life purpose, with what they want in life. But I'm hearing that you guys are very much in alignment and that kind of energy sort of attracts things to you, but also you share your light with others and people feel really good and very happy around you because you are in alignment, because you just kind of elude that energy. I'm seeing that you guys have had a lot of past lives that you have learned from and that you've grown from, and you've had a lot of life lessons, you've cleared a lot of karma, and that you've brought in all of these experiences into this lifetime. And I'm seeing that you guys have a really big soul purpose in this lifetime, that there is something that you are meant to bring to the world that is really big, really special, and really important. And you will definitely find out more about that in this reading. Pile 1, what makes you special? You have Dance with Life. So yes, just like with this card, I'm seeing that it's truly your energy that really makes you special and stand out. I'm really feeling that I'm feeling this really lighthearted, but also a bit magical, high vibrational energy that you are just kind of existing in all the time, and people see that and people feel that, and people just feel really good around you. They feel at peace, they feel just really light, like hanging out with you or being around you just kind of lifts burdens off of them. It just kind of makes them forget about their problems and really just feel more connected to the planet, more connected to people, more connected to the present moment. You just your energy helps people feel that way just by having that energy. I'm seeing. Some of you guys may dance or enjoy dancing or be very good in that department, but for a lot of you guys, I'm just seeing that it is just your energy is very light, and your energy is like a very light, playful dance. Pile 1, what makes you special? Pile 1, what makes you special? So we have Imrama, where are you being called to journey to? So again, with this message here, I'm getting that you guys really did have some very interesting past lives, and you have a lot of interesting energy and experiences that you sort of bring to the table in the present moment. I'm seeing that for some of you guys, this could also be in this life as well. If you've traveled a lot, if you've done a lot of interesting things, if you had a lot of interesting experiences, then that's something that people really admire about you, and they like to listen to your stories, and they like to hear about the things that you've done. If you haven't done that yet, it might be that in this lifetime you are meant to take an adventure or go and journey somewhere or go and travel or go and do something different and outside of the box. Yeah, I heard outside of the box again. So some of you guys are a bit different, but I'm hearing in a good way, and you do things that are different than other people, but people really admire that about you because you're different than the norm. You're different than their same old routine. You have I'm getting just a very adventurous vibe, that you've had experiences, or you create experiences with the people you're with that are more interesting. They're not boring, they're not your typical experiences. They are really outside of the box. And again, I'm getting that life purpose energy that you're being called to go somewhere and have these like big experiences that are going to help you with your life purpose. I'm hearing for some of you guys, you really like to talk about things like ancient civilizations or history or different cultures around the world. Like, I'm hearing that when you have a conversation, it's a very abstract conversation. It's a conversation that's not your typical, how is the weather conversation. Like, you like to have conversations about things that are bigger than that. And I'm seeing that a lot of it has to do with like experiences, places, buildings, history. And this is because you are such an old soul that you've experienced some of these things, and like some of these like things that you see even like on YouTube or on TV, like you feel like your soul is kind of called to go to these places if you haven't been there already, because you've had past lives in these places, and that there is things that you've learned in these places over your lifetimes that have helped you on your path. And like going to these places would really help you like remember those experiences. And I'm seeing that the energy that you bring to the table is very similar to that of what a person might feel at a sacred site, or like so for example, they say like Sedona, Arizona is a very high vibrational place. So if someone went there, they'd go there to sort of feel more high vibrational, feel more at peace, feel more connected to themselves. And I'm seeing that you emit a similar energy, and that's just your regular high vibrational energy, is that you're actually exuding energy that is very similar to sacred places. I'm seeing that for a lot of you guys, you've either visited these places or you are being called to visit these places, depending on where you are on your life's journey. Okay, pile one. What makes you special? What makes you special, pile number 1? So we have 7 of Inspiration in reverse. So I'm seeing that you guys don't get involved in drama, and you don't get involved in like gossip. You don't get involved in toxicity. I'm seeing like if people are having a conversation that ultimately is just going to end up bringing other people down, I'm seeing that you're the type of person who's just not going to engage in that conversation. You're going to end it very fast. You're going to go on to do something else. Like, you're not going to stay around people who are having conversations that can bring them down. Like, for example, venting. Some people like will go up to like, let's say, a group of coworkers, and they will vent about a certain problem or situation that they're having in their workplace regarding another person. But when they're talking about it to a group of people, what they don't realize is that now all those people are going to sort of unconsciously have a different opinion of the person that they are speaking about. And I'm seeing that you sort of have that higher perspective to see that that conversation might not be the best conversation. Yes, the person who wants the vent is innocent. They simply just want to get rid of their negative energy. They simply just want to be able to heal themselves and move on from a situation that is bothering them. But you sort of see it in that higher perspective of the fact that the people listening to that conversation may now not have such great of an opinion of the person venting. And I know, it's easy to say that those people listening to the venting are simply going to make their own opinions and have that higher perspective of, I know that just because someone's saying this is not true. But the unfortunate reality is that not everybody thinks that way, and that a lot of the times, even when we are trying to think with our best selves, when we hear so many opinions from other people about a person, our opinions do subconsciously change, whether we like it or not. Hearing negative opinions about others does sort of change the way that we approach them, and it does sort of change the way that we look at them, and it does sort of get us into a mindset of looking for them to fail in some way, or looking for them to prove this opinion that this other person has shared with us, or this opinion that we now have because someone else has shared it with us. And I'm seeing that you really get that, and so you don't engage in any conversation, even if it is innocent, even if the person's intent isn't to actually bring the other person down. I'm seeing that you're the type of person who can kind of see the higher perspective on that and won't engage in it at all. If somebody is genuinely trying to bring somebody down, I'm seeing that you're definitely not the person who's going to be part of that at all. if they're saying unkind things, if they're talking about things they really shouldn't be talking about, if they're sharing someone's private information, like, you're not going to be part of any conversation that you can see it leading to another person feeling bad, is what I'm seeing. And again, like, I really heard, like, I'm really getting the energy from this pile that you're the type of people who want to talk about experiences. You're the type of people who want to talk about big world problems. You're the type of person who really wants to, like, talk about philosophy or talk about travel or talk about, like, sort of those big issues. You don't want to talk about the small issues. You don't want to talk about people. You don't want to talk about their problems. You want to talk about the things that really are a higher perspective on things. And even if you do find yourself talking about people, I'm seeing it's in a higher perspective way. Like, you might find yourself giving somebody advice on how to actually heal themselves because that's considered a higher perspective to you. But you wouldn't find yourself just mindlessly gossiping about what you saw in the workplace, or again, doing anything that could ultimately cause harm to somebody or ultimately make someone feel bad. And I'm seeing that, like, that is definitely something that is special and that is unique, because a lot of people do like those conversations. A lot of people want to hear, like, I hear it all the time, like, I want to hear the tea, I want to know the tea. I'm hearing for you, like, you don't so much want to hear the tea, because the tea often comes with some negative thing about somebody else, and you just don't really appreciate that energy, and you don't want to be around that energy. Yeah, so I'm definitely seeing that that is something special about you, and that's definitely something that people admire about you. That, like, they know that they can really trust you. They know that they can really talk to you about something, that if they're coming to you with an issue, it's not going to end up being told to somebody else. That if they share a secret, the secret's safe with you. That if they mess up one day and do something that's improper and it's not a great social thing to do, you're not going to start talking about them to somebody else because that bothered you. Instead, you're probably the type of person who's going to go up to them and either share it and say, hey, I don't like what you did, that made me uncomfortable, or you're the type of person to just simply let it go and move on because you don't think of it as a big problem. And see, you also have a very higher perspective on people in general, so you know that just because somebody messed up one day, that's not who they are as a person. That's not what's going to happen every single day. That's just one event that happened one time, and you can easily kind of forgive them in the moment and see that they have many good things that they bring to the table, and that focusing on that one bad thing isn't the most high vibrational thing that you can do. Let's see, what else? What makes you special? We have Queen of Inspiration in reverse. Okay. Got a couple things here. I'm hearing that you guys are definitely confident people. It's not trying to say that you are not a confident person, but you're not the type of person who exudes confidence all the time. So I'm seeing that some people could actually see you as maybe not such a confident person, or they wouldn't immediately say, okay, if I'm trying to list confident people, they probably wouldn't put you on the list immediately, because they just don't see you in that light of, like, overconfidence, because you actually have a very internal confidence is what I'm seeing. You are confident in yourself, you know yourself well, you've spent that time throughout lifetimes really getting to know your soul. But you're not exuding it all the time to the point where, like, there's definitely no arrogance coming from you is what I'm seeing. There's definitely no, you're not presenting yourself as better than anybody else I'm seeing. You're presenting yourself as an equal to everybody else. You're presenting yourself as part of the team, as part of the group, as part of the collective. Like, you really see yourself as, like, a team player above all things, and even from, like, the highest perspective level, like, you see yourself as a team player of all people on earth. And I'm not seeing that you don't have the ability to lead, like, you certainly do, but I'm seeing that if you're going to lead, you're really going to lead with lots of people with you. Like, in fact, like, you actually have the energy of the best leaders, because you see that it's not just when you're leading, you're not trying to step over anybody else. It's not about controlling other people. It's not about manipulating them to do a certain thing. Like, that's not leadership to you. Leadership is when multiple people who have the same idea, who have the same passions, who have the same ambitions come together and say, I want this vision to happen. And you know that every single one of them is going to bring a special part to that vision. And you know that the part that you bring to the vision isn't any more important than the rest of the people bringing their parts to the vision. And you understand that even if you're the person who initially thought of the idea and, like, got the group together, that it doesn't make their parts less valuable or your part more valuable. In fact, I'm seeing that you really have this very equal view on things. I'm seeing that's definitely very special. Again, I know you guys are probably like sitting there thinking like, this is just me, but, or I know like other people are like that too, but it's actually a very rare energy. Like, you don't see a lot of people who really do understand that they can be confident without feeling like they're better than somebody else. Like, that's actually a very hard energy to achieve on its own. Like, I think a lot of us, when we hear confidence, we immediately like kind of fake it till we make it. So we try to view ourselves in this light where we're like, okay, so what am I better at than other people? I even see, like, especially, and I'm getting like kind of high school energy here, but like when you initially hear like you want to get yourself more confident, like the first thing you think is like, what am I good at? What group do I fit into? Oh, well, I'm better at drawing than everybody else, so that's why I can be confident, right? And it always comes from this place of I need to be better at something than somebody else. Whereas I'm seeing that you have a very strong confidence because you know that you can love yourself and appreciate yourself without needing to be better than anybody else. I'm seeing that you've transcended this energy. Like, you have no need to be better than anybody else. You don't see yourself as worse than anybody else either. In fact, you just see yourself as different and unique from everybody else. And that's special and unique on its own. But I'm also seeing in many ways you see yourself as the same as everybody else. It's actually like a really beautiful mixed energy I'm seeing here. It's very much in balance. Let's see, what else, pile number 1? What makes you special? Got the Devil in reverse. What makes you special is that you've had tough experiences in your life that were hard to go through. You've had to really face your own inner demons. Like, I'm hearing, like, for some of you guys, you've done things that weren't right. Like, you've had moments where you can honestly say, I did the wrong thing. I hurt somebody else. I added to the world in a negative way. I said something I shouldn't have. And like, you honestly see that about yourself. You're able to really see yourself in such a clear light that you're able to say, yes, I've messed up. Yes, I've done things I shouldn't have done. And yes, I've healed from that and made myself better. And yes, I've been able to see myself in that clear light so that I can love that part of myself too, and understand that sometimes I am going to make mistakes, and sometimes it's not always going to be the best, most high vibrational, beautiful energy all the time. Like, there's going to be moments where I'm not perfect, and I'm seeing that you've really been able to see yourself in that light and see yourself mess up as well as achieve things and still love yourself the same, despite having both those energies. I'm seeing for some of you guys, you've went through addictions, or you've went through like some really toxic thoughts, or you've had to go through anxiety, or you had to go through depression, or if you had to go through something that was really hard, especially if it was internally really hard. Some of you guys had to go through trauma. Some of you guys had to go through like really painful emotions. And I'm seeing that what makes you special is that you've worked on this. You saw it for what it was. You saw that it wasn't benefiting you. You've really acknowledged that part of yourself, and you've worked on it and said, okay, I want to change this part of myself, or I want to make myself better, or I need to let this go. Or in many cases, I just need to accept this part of myself. I just need to accept that it's part of me and that it's okay to be there. And I'm seeing that the fact that you've done this, and for you guys, like, you've done shadow work, like the fact that you've done shadow work, the fact that you've recognized those other parts of yourself, the fact that you've had to let go of addictions, or you've had to let go of habits, or you've had to let go of things that were bringing you down, is really what makes you special. Because you're not a person who just came into this world, this perfect ball of light, and everybody's like, oh yeah, you're so wonderful, I'm so glad to have this soul here that's already perfect, who already is karma free. No, I'm not getting that you guys were that soul. I'm getting that you guys were like, had to experience life the way everybody else did. And that's what makes you so special, is the fact that you experienced it and you proved to everybody that yes, you can get through it. No, you don't have to be a perfect ball of light coming into earth, never making a mistake. In fact, that's not what this earth's journey is about at all. You have to experience things. You have to have failures. You have to have achievements. You have to have all kinds of journeys in life. And I'm seeing that the fact that you were able to get that on such an intuitive level, and that you were able to move through those challenges and put the work in, like, makes you an amazing, special soul just on your own. Let's see, what else? Pile number 1, what makes you special? Pile number 1, what makes you special? We have the Two of Voices and the Six of Voices. Yeah, I'm really seeing that you guys have had to fight a really powerful internal battle against yourself. I'm seeing like for some of you guys, like you've really had to see yourself in, or you've really chosen to see yourself in like the worst light at some point. I'm seeing like at some point for some of you guys, like you've really hated yourself, like you've really been like angry at yourself. I'm seeing some of you guys have made like really big mistakes that have possibly caused like someone to get hurt or caused something to change in your life that you didn't want to go in that direction, or just, yeah, I'm seeing that some of you guys like really saw yourself in a really bad light at some point. And for some of you guys, this is like just as simple as like you went through a lack of confidence at some point in your life. So you hated yourself, but it was sort of unjust, and you grew from that and realized that you could love yourself, and that the things that you thought were like so bad were really just like projections onto you. For some of you guys, I'm seeing that that's your experience. For others of you guys, I'm seeing that you like genuinely made big mistakes, and you genuinely like did things that like you like definitely like don't approve of or definitely don't like, and you really had to see yourself in that light of making that mistake, and you really had to look yourself in the eyes, and you really had to like deal with that. And I'm seeing that you grew so much from this. I'm seeing that like you learned to love yourself so unconditionally, despite the fact that like, you know, you made those mistakes, despite the fact that these events happened, despite the fact that other people might have been saying things about you that were not true at the time, but maybe were still things that you believed. Despite having these beliefs and these perspectives of yourself, like I'm seeing that you really had to get through it and really had to grow from that, and that it made you such a stronger, better person. I'm seeing that like you had to go through periods in your life where like things weren't clear, where things were foggy, where you didn't know what direction to go, where you felt stuck, where you felt like there was no way out. And you had to go ahead and find this door anyways. You had to go out and find the way out anyways, and you had nothing but your intuition to lead the way, but you did it. And I'm seeing that you guys like really had to transform, like you really had to change yourselves, you really had to become a whole new person, I'm seeing. And that it's the fact that you've had these hard experiences, it's the fact that you've really had to earn this high vibrational energy that you now have in the present moment. It's the fact that life wasn't easy. It's the fact that like you weren't just like dealt a hand that was, you know, good, and you got lucky and things were simple. It's the fact that you actually had to like go from the bottom and get to the top and really work for it. That's what really makes you special and unique. I'm seeing that because you went through these lessons and experiences, you can show people that like anybody can become enlightened, anybody can change their vibration, anybody can become spiritual, can become happy. Anybody can get to where you are. You show people the way. You show people that this path is available for them, even when it seems like it's not. I'm seeing at like one point, like you just didn't see like this is what you earned as like even a possibility for you. Like you thought like, for some of you guys, like it was just, you thought you were a bad person, you didn't deserve it. For others of you guys, you thought that like you were just dealt a bad hand and it just wasn't going to happen because that just wasn't your fate. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of different thoughts here, but you grew from that and you did it anyways. Yeah, with nothing but your intuition guiding you, you did it. You got through it. And like for some of you guys, this was like a big change internally. For others of you guys, I'm seeing that like you guys traveled or left home or went somewhere else or now living somewhere completely different from where you were. For some of you guys, like this could be a more material growth thing as well. So like maybe you started off in like a really poor country and like you had to earn money and you had to save up and you had to get yourself and possibly your family over to a more stable lifestyle, whether that's in your country or in another country. I'm also seeing like some of you guys felt like you were going to be like stuck where you lived forever, and you were around like toxic people who were bringing you down all the time, who were hurting you all the time, who weren't making you feel good, and you kind of thought like you were going to be stuck there forever, but you managed to leave that place and go somewhere else where you felt more accepted, where you felt more happy. Yeah, I'm definitely getting travel vibes here. So for some of you guys, like it does have to do with with travel, like you've moved in some way and people admire that about you, and that's what makes you special, is that you've really started off as underdogs is what I'm hearing, and you've really transcended that. You did something that other people like felt like they couldn't do. You did something that seemed impossible to other people. You did something that seemed impossible to yourself at one. I'm also seeing that for some of you guys, like you just became very carefree, you became very spontaneous to the point where like you just really go with the flow. You don't feel like you need to control things so much anymore. If you feel called to go in a certain direction, you'll go in that direction. You'll take a leap of faith when you're called to take a leap of faith. You're no longer you don't like worry about things so much anymore. You don't like try to control things so much anymore. You don't hold yourself back anymore is what I'm really seeing. Let's see what else. What makes pile 1 so special? I love this reading so far, by the way. You guys are amazing souls. Let's see what else. What makes pile 1 special? Let's see, what makes pile 1 special? What makes pile 1 special? So we have the competition card in reverse. And it's funny that this came up right here by the 7 of Wands in reverse, very similar energy. Yeah, I'm definitely seeing that, like, when people are trying to bring you down, when people are trying to change your energy, when people are trying to project their own beliefs and their own thoughts and their own ideals onto you, you're able to look past that. Like, you're able to not allow that to drain you. You're able to see it for what it really is. I'm seeing that you guys have very high perspectives. I'm seeing that, like, when you see somebody trying to bring you down or trying to, I'm heard knock you down a peg, because that's what like some people who are trying to bring you down are really trying to do. Like, they feel like you're too confident, or you're too or like, it's so funny because over here I said, like, you guys aren't even people who are arrogant at all. Like, not at all are you guys arrogant, but I'm seeing like some people see this life that you've built for yourself and they sort of want to believe that you've had life handed to you. They want to believe that you had it easy. They want to believe that like you didn't have to work for it. So they feel like they want to knock you down a peg in order to make themselves feel better. But I'm seeing that you guys see it for right what it is. Like, you see it as like just an internal reflection of themselves. You see it as them being disconnected with themselves. You see it as them not looking within and not appreciating themselves the way it is. And you don't even let that energy bother you. I'm seeing like people can throw daggers at you and like it would fall right off of you. Like, you wouldn't even notice it was there. Or if you did notice it was there, it'd be like you look for a second, then you're like right back doing what you're supposed to do. Yeah, you don't let them bother you. And I'm seeing that like you don't feel a need to compete either. So you're going after something you want, and there's a lot of people going after that too. I'm seeing that you really have this like vision of everybody can get there. Everybody can make that happen. It doesn't have to just be me standing at the top. Like, you don't see it as you have to climb on top of people or knock people down pegs or trample them to get to the top. You don't have to be the best of the best. Like, you don't even believe in that competition I'm seeing. Instead, you see it as we're all climbing that mountain, and if we all make it at the top, I'm appreciative of that. I think that we can all make it there. I think that we can all make that happen. I don't think that it's just one person who's going to be getting to the top at the end of it. And so that's what makes you special and unique as well, because most people, they want to compete. Most people see competition as trying to bring somebody else down, or competition as in having to be better than somebody else, but you don't even see it in that light at all. You see it as like, we're all a team, we're all working together, and yes, we can all get there at the same time. We also have creativity. Yeah, you really have a unique way of looking at things. I'm seeing that like whatever's negative in your life, whatever doesn't make sense in your life, whatever is like bringing you down, you really have a way of finding the light in it. You really have a way of making it part of your work of art. I'm seeing, like, you know, for example, you may have planned for things to go one way. So you may have planned to be a doctor growing up, and that's kind of always what you want to do. And so you went to med school, you did all the things to become a doctor, but then you failed your exam and ended up having to go and be something else. I'm seeing that you really like painted that into your picture and were able to see as why that was part of your divine plan, or why that's actually a beautiful moment. Like, I'm seeing that instead of looking at it as like, I failed that, I can be what I always wanted to be, you saw it as, wow, that was a door closing so that this other door could open and create my new life over here. Or, I'm so glad I failed that because now I can talk to other people and tell them my experience, and you know, you got something from that. So for some people, they're going to say like they would help other people maybe pass the exam and say, this is what I did wrong. Or for other people, they might say, these are the red flags I noticed along the way that told me I wasn't really meant to be a doctor. And this is how you can listen to those signs better. Either way, I'm seeing that, like, whether it was actually a mistake or just something that was meant to be and another door opened for you, you were able to see it in its most positive light, and you see it as like meant to be. Like, you're so thankful you failed that exam is what I'm seeing. You're so thankful that happened. And then we got Epiphany and Grace. So these are very high vibrational cards. So yeah, like, you guys are very high vibrational people. Again, I'm seeing that you took the events in your past, you took the things that happened to you, and you really made them better. Like, you really made it into magic. I'm seeing, like, you didn't let these experiences bring you down, which is what makes you so, so special. Is that, yes, you had it rough. Yes, you had to go through things. Yes, you had to go through experiences that other people are never going to understand, and they probably didn't understand when you were going through them. But you made it through, and you made it through just by following your intuition. You made it through by just reconnecting with the universe. You made it through by raising your own vibration, and you're still this amazing person. I'm seeing that, yeah, people do look at you and think like they must have had an easy life, or they must have, you know, they must have always been this way. They must have always been this like lighthearted person, and that just must be who they are. They must have been like, ever since a child, this lighthearted, like high vibrational person. And like, you're sitting there saying, no, actually, like, I had to go through the ringer. I had to go through some hard events in my life. I had to really go through times where I wasn't high vibrational, where I did have real experiences that were really hard and difficult. But I worked at it, and that's where I am right now. Yeah, and with the Epiphany card, I'm seeing that you're a lot more in flow now. Like, things just kind of come to you. It almost does seem like magic to other people looking at you. It almost does seem like things just come easy to you, but that it's because you worked on your vibration that things come easy to you now. I'm seeing that, like, random doors randomly open because you're just in flow. You're in the right place at the right time because you're trusting the universe. You're allowing them to take charge. You're allowing them to lead the way, and you're following them. And you're not allowing your fears and worries and negative beliefs to hold you back because they don't exist anymore. You've transcended those. You've allowed them to fall off of you. And even if like new ones come up, like, you know how to deal with them because you've dealt with them so many times before. Yeah, I'm seeing that you're just really in this peaceful energy. You're really in this like high vibrational state, and it's so, so special because you're bringing peace to this world. You're encouraging more people to be high vibrational, and you're really showing them that literally anybody can do it because your experience wasn't easy and you did it, so everybody can. Wow, such a beautiful energy, pile number 1. You guys are super special, super unique, super amazing people, and I'm so glad to have done a reading for you guys. Thank you so much for listening to this message. I really hope you enjoyed it. Bye now. Hello, my beautiful souls who chose pile number 2 with this light blue potion here. This reading is for you. So pile 2, let's find out what makes you special and unique. What makes you special and unique? Pile 2, what makes you special and unique? Okay, so we got the Visionary card, and it did come out in reverse. But don't worry, I'm not getting a bad message from that at all. So I am getting that you guys are a visionary in its upright sense. That is who you are. So it says, light attributes, capacity to envision what is not yet conceivable to others, willingness to proclaim a vision without regard for personal gain. So yes, I'm definitely seeing that you guys are visionaries. You guys are able to envision what you want to see in the world and make it happen. I'm seeing that you guys might be like daydreamers, or people that are just like really into like the vision part of manifestation, or really just have this like ideal in your head of what you think the world should be. and like have like a picture of what like your ideal world looks like. But I'm seeing that the challenge with that and why it came out in reverse is because people don't always see eye to eye with your vision. I'm seeing people have tried to bring you down, have tried to make you see the world more realistically. I'm seeing that people have just like not agreed with your vision. Like they think that you are hoping for a world that like either isn't possible or it's from like some kind of fantasy, or yeah, I'm really getting like real world vibes. I'm getting like people just think that you are like up in your head, up in the clouds. They don't think that what you're visioning is possible, and they think that you're being, I heard extra, like you're being a bit extra trying to make this thing happen. It's just really unfortunate, by the way. Like, don't take that personally at all. They're wrong. But yeah, I'm just definitely getting that feeling though that you guys have this like beautiful high vibration vision of the world and that you're really seeing it as possible, and people are like trying to tell you, no, it's not possible. Like, that's a dream, that's unrealistic, that's not how the real world is. Which is unfortunate, but I'm seeing that it definitely is a part that makes you special if you've had to go through that, because you're still envisioning it. Like, this card is still coming up because you are currently still envisioning that. You are still saying, yes, I think it's possible. You're still saying, yes, I picture this world. Yes, I believe in it, despite the fact that people are trying to tell you different. And that is so beautiful. Such a well-needed energy in this world. Let's see, what else? Pile number 2. Pile number 2. We have Messiah, serving humanity with humility. And bully highlights your, okay, we'll read it, doesn't mean that it's you though. Highlights your tendency to intimidate others, helps you confront the inner fears that bully you. So for some of you guys, it is that you guys have created these inner fears that bully you as a result of what other people are saying about you, and you've had to go through that. But for a lot of you guys, I'm definitely seeing, especially with what I said over there, there are people who are trying to bully you out of this vision. There are people who are trying to bully you out of your high vibrational state. There are people who are trying to say, like, you can't be that high vibrational, or you can't see the world in such a positive light, or you can't be this happy all the time. It must be fake. Yeah, I'm really getting these, like, really lighthearted, like, childlike, playful souls that are just being told by the rest of the world that's not okay to be that way. And, like, it's really unfortunate. Like, they absolutely are bullies. Like, don't listen to them. Because you're special because of this energy. Like, don't let other people tell you otherwise. Like, you are special because of this energy, and you are this way for a reason, because you are meant to create the vision for the world. You are meant to picture this. You are meant to help bring it into reality, because that's manifestation. By holding that vision, you are helping create that world. And we got serving humanity with humility. So I'm seeing that you've actually taken the best from this bully energy, people bringing you down. You've I'm not saying that you guys like would have became like overly confident or arrogant or anything like that, but I'm definitely seeing that you guys do have some humility. You look at your you do look at things like realistically, I'm seeing. Which, it's so funny. It's like you have this like beautiful energy of like really envisioning the world in this like high vibrational way, but then you're still also got this like grounded, realistic part looking at you. Interesting. It's like, yeah, you guys have that like inner critic part, and I'm seeing like there's positives and negatives with it. So you have the negatives that they're telling you fears, they're telling you that your vision isn't realistic, they're telling you that like that you shouldn't even be like believing in it. And I'm hearing like that's your inner critic as well as like outside people, or that outside people said that, and now you sort of have the inner critic that says those things. But it's also helping you stay grounded at the same time, which is weird. So let me try to understand this message. So it's keeping you from getting so overexcited about a project or something that you're created that you sort of halt the manifestation because you are too attached to it. Interesting. Okay, so I'm getting that like you've made the best out of it because you're also allowing it to help you from getting so attached to this vision that you want it to happen like right away, or unrealistically, or in too fast of a way, or in a way that you're not accepting the small steps that would be needed to help create it. Interesting. Definitely light workers in this pile, though. You're definitely meant to help people. And again, you're not arrogant. You're not like overly confident people. You're not bringing anybody down while you do it. You see yourself in a realistic light. That's so funny though, because I'm really like, I'm not seeing this as like good energy, but for like, you guys have made like the best of it. I'm seeing like is something that like spirit really wants to point out. They're like, no, having like bullies in your life and inner critics and fears isn't a good thing, but you guys have still like allowed it to help you ground yourself for some reason. So interesting. I'm definitely gonna find out more about that, because yeah, I definitely wouldn't think that inner critics or bullies would be a positive thing, but you guys have somehow made this a bit positive. Beautiful souls. Okay, wow, we got like cards flying out of me everywhere. I'm not even able to shuffle. Okay, you got Destroyer, releasing what is potentially destructive, preparing for new life. Okay, and then you got Mother, nurturance, patience, unconditional love, joy in giving birth to life. Okay, so I'm seeing that maybe like the inner critic and the bully have really helped you sort of like empathize with people. Yeah, I'm hearing that you've learned to like empathize with bullies a bit too. Like you've really learned to understand that that's their journey, and that's their way of coping, I'm hearing. Yeah, I'm hearing that this is like a difficult energy for you to deal with, but like you've sort of transcended it in a way that you're able to look at them and say, you know, I can still like love you from afar. I'm seeing like I still send you love, I still send you light. I don't want you in my life, but I still am going to care for you and like understand that like it's not easy being the bully either. I'm seeing that you've really like empathized with that. I'm seeing that you guys have really identified with the parts of yourselves that bully as well. So even your inner critic bullying you, you've recognized that and said, sometimes I bully myself. Sometimes when I'm not feeling good, like I'm seeing that you guys have even identified with the times that you may have bullied other people. And I don't mean that in a like you were necessarily like a schoolyard bully. Like maybe for some of you guys, like you went through that and that's okay if you've transcended that and recognized about yourself. But I'm not seeing that that has to be the energy. I'm seeing that just like, you know, we say hurt people. So I'm seeing that for some of you guys, like because you were being bullied or because people were saying these harsh things to you or because people were bringing you down in some way, like there may have been like even just like split moments over like long periods of time where you said something that you shouldn't have, or you said something to bring somebody down, or you said something that hurt somebody in some way. And even if it was just like a split moment and like definitely not reflective of who you were as a person at all, I'm seeing that you guys were able to see that and recognize that and say like, I don't like what this person is doing, but I've been in that situation as well. And I know that like people don't hurt other people unless they're feeling really hurt themselves. And I'm seeing that you guys have really like empathized with that, which is really nice. And we got Destroyer, releasing what is potentially destructive, preparing for a new life. Oh gosh, I'm really getting like, you guys come off as like too kind is what I heard. And I'm not saying that as a bad thing at all. I do not think that you guys are like out of balance with your niceness or your kindness or anything like that. I do not think that you guys, unless you've identified in yourself and that's something you're currently working through, but I'm not seeing that you guys are like pushovers in any way or anything like that usually comes off too nice. You're definitely not fake either. I also heard that, but I'm seeing that this sometimes is the perspective of other people, that they try to project that onto you where they think that you're gonna let people get away with whatever they want, that you let people walk all over you. And it's because they're confusing the fact that you can empathize with people who hurt you and that you don't feel a need to hate them or some resentment their way. Very, very high vibrational souls I'm seeing. This is nicer than I would be, to be honest. Like that's how I'm seeing it too, but I'm not seeing it in a bad way at all. It's just a different energy than what I personally have. You guys are just like really kind people. And with the Destroyer card, releasing what is potentially destructive, preparing for a new life, I'm seeing that you've released a lot of this because you're able to transcend that and look at it in a different light, as in like there's actually parts in this that are helping me. Even though like a lot of it is bad, there's actually like little parts that do help me that I can appreciate. I can still send it love. I can still care for this part or the situation that's helping me. Because you've done that, you've actually like released it, and you don't find as many people trying to bully you anymore. You don't find as many critical inner thoughts anymore. And that your ability to like look at things in this like super positive light like is really what makes you amazing. Like, as I said, even I cannot look at things in this positive of a light. Like, if somebody's trying to bring me down, I gotta be honest, I would still struggle with that. And I'm seeing the people in this pile don't, which is beautiful. Yeah, and I'm just seeing you guys as like this really motherly, nurturing energy. Like, I'm seeing that you guys like see yourself as like a mother to all humans, to all people, to even nature, to even animals. Like, you kind of just like see yourself in that light that you can offer nurturing, loving energy to anyone and anything, including those who are causing harm. And that is a very, very hard place to get to. Like, that is not an easy thing to do, to be able to look at somebody and say like they're causing harm and destruction and they're hurting people, but I'm going to love them anyways, is a very, very, very difficult state to get to. And I'm seeing that you guys have gotten there. You guys don't look at people who harm people or people who bring people down as like evil or something that needs to be like I think like a lot of people like look at this kind of energy as like, we need to find a way to punish them, or we need to find a way to really like bring them down, or we need to find a way to get them justice. Whereas you see it as like, I'm just going to love them from afar. You know, I'm not going to let them treat me bad, but I'm not going to not give them love energy either. I'm not going to say that they're like unworthy of love either, because I get it, like there is hurt inside of them. They are not dealing with it the right way. They could do better, but they probably just can't see that they could do better. They're probably just like unaware of the fact that they could do better. Some of them are probably unaware of how they're actually affecting people. Some of them is just in the heat of the moment where they actually are aware of how they're affecting people, but they don't really know how to control all this negative energy that they got inside of them. And you're able to like really see that and offering them love anyways. Like, this is very, very beautiful, like unbelievably kind energy in this pile. We have Virgin, light attribute, maintaining symbolic purity of heart and spirit. Absolutely, you guys are like pure souls. You guys are yeah, just so kind, so pure, and really able just to give light to anything. Yeah, I'm seeing that you guys really don't differentiate between good people and bad people. I think like you really get that higher perspective of everybody has good parts and bad parts in them. Everybody struggles. Everybody has those inner demons. Everybody has those times where they hurt people at some point. Everybody has those moments where they haven't been their truest and highest self. And so you offer love to everybody. Like, you are just such this like pure high vibrational energy I'm seeing. You're just like offering so much love, and it's beautiful. It really is. And so you guys are very forgiving souls. Like, that's really what makes the big difference, that you guys are so forgiving. You don't hold grudges for a very long period of time at all. Like, you really just see that like high vibrational perspective of, they were hurt, they didn't handle it well, I wish them love, I wish them luck, I hope they figure it out. But like, you're not holding on to hate at all. Like, this is like a hateless pile. You're not holding on to resentment. You're not holding on to like shame at all. Like, all of those energies, like, you've just like offered so much nurturing, kind energy to everyone, and in an equal way. I'm seeing it's really, really beautiful. Like, this is amazing. Okay, let's find out more, my pile number twos. What makes you special? What makes you special? We have Nine of Pentacles in reverse. This one's interesting. Yeah, I'm seeing that you guys are really the type of people to put others first. I'm seeing you really just like love giving to others. I'm seeing like you just love giving away light energy. You just love looking at things in this like high vibrational state. You just love looking at the best in people. You love making them feel good. You love making them feel confident. You love making them feel worthy of themselves. You just love it when you can put a smile on another person's face. I'm seeing, like, it is so beautiful. And I'm seeing that, like, you guys are the souls that are willing to put a smile on another person's face, or willing to put another person first, even when you're not feeling that way yourself. So even when you're feeling like you don't like love yourself as much as you could, or you don't like what you're doing, or you don't you're not seeing yourself in the best light, you're still giving this light to others. You're still trying to bring them up. You're still trying to make them feel good. Such pure, beautiful energy I'm seeing. Like, you don't let your hardships get you down. You don't let your hardships make it so that you're making other people feel bad. Like, you don't turn into this bully energy I'm seeing. And I'm seeing that when you do really take the time to make yourself feel good, when you take the time to make yourself feel really worthy, when you take the time to take care of yourself, you know, take those baths, go out shopping, do fun things for yourself, when you take the time to do those things, it actually just helps even more and allows you to share even more amazing energy with the world. And then when you do take care of yourself, you're also thinking about others too. Like, you're the type who goes out on a shopping spree for themselves, but then like wants to buy something for each of their friends as well, or starts thinking about, like, you know, Christmas or some holiday coming up and starts like shopping for them and stuff. Like, I'm seeing that you really like have other people on your mind, and you really like are a soul that's here to uplift other people. Like, you just want them to feel so good, and that's sort of your main goal. Truly beautiful energy. What else? What makes you special? Pile number 2. What makes you special? Pile number 2. And we have the Queen of Inspiration. So maybe at one point you haven't been so confident in yourself, or you haven't looked at yourself in the highest light, or you've really had struggles where, again, like, you had that inner critic where you believed what the other people were saying, where you allowed that to bring you down. But you learn to get past that, and you learn to get to the stage where you are so confident in yourself, where you see yourself in such a high vibrational light, where you see yourself as such an amazing person, and you can really appreciate yourself. And I'm seeing that's helped you, like, that's only helped you spread light even more. That's only helped you just fill your cup up so much that you have so much more to give to others. And the fact that you've had to go through those hardships, the fact that you've had to hear those things about yourself, and that you still came out confident, that you still came out like an empowered person, that you still came out loving yourself and others, is just so magical and so beautiful. Because I'm seeing that, like, in another reality with other choices, you could have easily became this energy. You could have easily became the bully yourself. You could have easily became somebody who like criticized people or brought them down. But no, you chose different. You chose to be this pure energy. You chose to be the light. You chose to look at people in the most beautiful light possible, even when they're showing you their true colors, even when they're showing you the worst parts of themselves. You chose to spread love, and you chose to spread love to yourself too, which is even more beautiful and even more amazing. We got the Tower. So I'm seeing you've had to go through moments in your life where things fell apart, where things like didn't work out as planned, where oh, I'm getting the Destroyer energy again, actually, where you've had to let go of where you've had to let go of your old self, where you've had to let go of certain personality traits that were holding you back, where you've really had to do the shadow work, I'm seeing. And again, you're still this beautiful pure energy. You've gone through the ringer. I'm seeing you've gone through some really hard things. You've had to change yourself. You've had to evolve. You've had to transform. You've had to look at yourself in ways where you said, hey, like, there's me being a bully. I have to look at myself in the eyes, looking at myself, seeing myself doing those things that I don't agree with, that I know how it feels like to be on the other side. And you've still loved yourself at the end of it. You've still said, I still absolutely love who I am. I love every part of myself. I love the hurt part of myself. I love the happy part of myself, and you've still chosen to be this pure soul. You've still chosen to spread light, and it's just so beautiful because, again, like, you've been dealt every single card that could have made you into this, and yet you've still chosen to be this. What else? And we got the 10 of Wands in reverse, which we'll throw here, and the Muse of Inspiration, which is the King of Wands. So yeah, I'm getting that, like, you released, like, these burdens, you released these, like, harsh things that were bringing you down. You guys may have went through periods in your life where you did let this get to you, where you did carry a lot of shame, where you did carry a lot of hurt and pain, and you've released them. I'm seeing you've released those burdens, you've released those things that were making you feel hurt and scared and sad, or whatever unpleasant feeling that you had to go through. You released that, and you're using it to lead yourself in a new direction. You're using it to hold this new vision of how people could be, of how and you're using this, like, new energy that you've created to lead the world in a new direction. You're showing people that they can choose to be kind, they can choose to be pure, they can choose to spread light even when they're hurt too. They can choose to release old wounds and go in a new direction. You're leading the way for something else, I'm seeing, and that has to do with your vision here. It has to do with how you see the world, or how the world should be. And I think for a lot of you guys, you're picturing the world as, like, a very kind place. You're seeing people being nice to each other, loving each other, even when they're making mistakes, even when they're not being their highest and truest self. You see it as, like, people just spreading love no matter what, and you're leading the way by doing that yourself, I'm seeing. And I'm seeing for, like, any of you guys who have went through situations where you've had, like, relationships or friendships or even, like, family dynamics with people who were not the nicest people to you, who were treating you poorly, who were treating you not so good, and taking advantage of this, like, light energy, taking advantage of the fact that you would give to them no matter what, taking advantage of the fact that you'd be forgiving even when they did something wrong. I'm seeing that that's something that you guys had to go through as well, is really learning to love yourself enough that you don't allow people to treat you that way, that you've recognized that you've gotten to the point that, yes, you still want to spread love to everybody on this planet. Yes, you still want to forgive people. Yes, you want to stay in that positive energy of everybody deserves forgiveness, everybody deserves love. You still wanted to stay in that energy. You've still chosen to stay in that energy, but you're not going to continue relationships or friendships or these dynamics closely enough that they're going to continuously hurt you. I'm seeing you've learned to really set some boundaries, I'm seeing as well, and that was part of your journey as well, is to learn the difference between loving and forgiving somebody and letting them walk all over you or letting them hurt you. So if you guys have ever went through that, where you were this really pure, kind-hearted person, and then somebody, like, kind of took advantage of that, or just didn't treat you very good because they thought they could. If you've ever dealt with that kind of energy, I'm seeing that that was part of your journey as well, to learn how to still send that love in a way that you're not just allowing them to hurt you, or in a way that, and I don't want to say allowing, because we never allow somebody to hurt us, but in a way that that's not protecting ourselves. I'm seeing that you've learned how to protect yourself, because you deserve to be protected. You don't deserve to be treated in a bad way, and you definitely deserve to have boundaries, and to not just let every single negative energy into your life. I'm seeing that, like, you now understand that sometimes in order to change, in order to become better, in order to become more of, like, a pure light like you, sometimes what people actually need is just some space. And you've learned how to separate yourself and give them that space and walk away. And again, I'm hearing love from afar. So it's no longer loving while the person is directly in your life. It's now loving from afar until they take the steps to actually be a better person. I'm seeing with you guys, like, it's, the door is always open for you guys. I'm seeing that you guys are really, like, ready to forgive the second that they make those changes, and you're ready to forgive the second that people grow or change. Yeah, I'm seeing that you guys are very good at forgiving. And I'm not necessarily seeing that, like, that means, like, for instance, like, a relationship treated you bad and ended because they treated you bad. That doesn't mean that you're going to get into a relationship with that person again. It just means that, like, if they turn it around and they change and they become a better person, you you'll forgive them and see them like as this new person and appreciate them. But for some of you guys, they still may not have the chance to be as close as they were with you before. For others of you guys would actually be willing to let them in again if they did show those changes, because you give them that chance. I think it's different for each one of you. Okay, let's get a final message for what makes pile 2 so special. What makes pile 2 so special? So we got message in a bottle. So it's funny actually, like I got like a message from like the reversed version of this card to go with the actual message of the card, but I'm seeing that you guys have learned to see the red flags. You guys have learned to see when a situation isn't so right for you. You've learned to see things you've learned to get a little bit of clarity to see things for how they are, but yet you still stay true to yourself with this pure energy. So this is a really interesting mix where you're still seeing everything in this positive, beautiful, loving, caring light. Like you're still seeing people as good innately. You have not let this go. This very much still exists within you. But you've also cultivated a little bit of clarity for when you need to set boundaries, is what I'm seeing. So like, for example, you now notice in the beginning of a relationship when somebody's not going to be available and there for you the way that you need, when someone's not going to offer you what you need from them, you're now going to notice those like initial signs that it's going that way so that you can end things earlier on. And this doesn't mean that you're not sending them love. This doesn't mean that you're not forgiving. This doesn't mean that you're not caring even though like they're going through something. It just means that you're so confident in yourself at this point that you understand that what they're giving you isn't worthy of you. You understand that you still deserve to be treated in the best way possible, even when another person's going through something. So yeah, you've really had to like balance this energy I'm seeing between, like, I'll try to give an example. So let's say you're in a relationship with a person and that person, you know, starts calling you a lot of hurtful things in the arguments, when you're having arguments with them. And you know that they had a father who said a lot of harsh things to them growing up. You know that like for them, like they were bullied as a kid by their father, and so now they're repeating a lot of those hurtful things in their arguments. So you empathize with them, you send them love, but you still say that like, but the difference is that whereas in the past you would have continued to send them love and continue to hope that they would change and continue to try to like kind of guide them and nurture them, kind of like a mother, you are now at the point where you say, yes, I can still see that. Yes, I still understand that. Yes, I'm still sending you love, but I love myself so much that I need to say that like, I don't want to hear those things from you. And because you're still saying those in the inner arguments, because there's no change currently happening, because I don't see any change or progress currently happening, I'm going to close the door on this relationship now, and I'm still going to send you love, but now it's not going to be in the relationship anymore. Now it's going to be from afar. Now I'm going to pursue other things. Now I'm going to pursue a relationship that really loves me and cares for me for who I am. Such beautiful, pure souls in this pile too, like so kind and amazing souls. And I'm seeing that this like actually could have been like a really painful thing you guys had to go through, where you're such a forgiving and kind person and like somebody took advantage of that and just thought that you're going to forgive them no matter what, and you had to go through that, and now you're saying no, you know, I'm not going to forgive you no matter what. I can still keep this energy. I'm not going to let it go. Like basically what I'm trying to say is like a lot of people with this kind of energy, once they get into relationships and they start having that kind of dynamic happen and people take advantage of it, they solve the problem by putting up walls and trying to like protect their heart chakra and not let people in the way that they used to. They start not being so vulnerable. They start not forgiving anything. They get into this sort of unbalanced place where like someone can make like a small mistake and they're not going to forgive that, or somebody can really make the changes to make themselves better and they'd still say no, like I'm not into you and I'm not going to forgive you regardless of the situation, or even just like holding on resentment for like the rest of their life because of one situation that happened, and actually like lowering their own vibration because they're still hanging on to that resentment, or even hurting people in return in their future relationships because they're feeling hurt inside and they haven't dealt with those emotions yet. Lots of different, like, not so great ways to deal with this, but for you guys, I'm saying that you guys have made the choice to stay that pure soul. You guys have made the choice to say, I'm still going to love everybody. I'm still going to forgive everybody. I'm still going to see their shiny, bright, happy sides. I'm still going to see the best in people. But I'm not going to let everybody in. So beautiful. We also got the new life card, but this came out in reverse. Interesting. So with this new life card here, I'm seeing that what makes you guys special and unique is that you guys are always open to the fact that you are always learning. You guys really see life as a journey and see life as an opportunity to learn so many new things. You have a very open mind and you're okay with knowing that you haven't learned all your lessons yet, and that when you have these new experiences, or when you have these new losses, or when you have these not so great experiences, you know that there's always something to learn from it. I'm seeing that you can take the lesson out of any experience and make it into a blessing. Just like I was saying at the beginning of the reading, where you're like looking at this whole situation over here with the bully as like a good thing, or you take the best part from it and make yourself better. I'm seeing that you guys do that with all situations, and that's truly what makes you special. Is that you have this like very optimistic way of looking at things, and you truly understand that there are lessons and experiences along the way, and that you're open to receiving those and becoming your best self from it. Okay, my beautiful pile number 2s, that's all I have. I really hope you enjoyed this message. Bye now. Hello, my beautiful pile number 3s. And if you chose this dark blue potion bottle here, then this reading is for you. So pile 3, what makes you special and unique? Pile 3, what makes you special and unique? So you got the Muse of Emotions. So I'm seeing right away that you guys are very emotionally balanced people. You guys are people who express your emotions in a very healthy way. So I'm seeing that you guys neither hold back your emotions from people, nor do you express them in ways that are unhealthy, like yelling or hurting other people, or any kind of toxic way of expressing your emotions. I'm seeing that you express them in a very healthy way. You guys are probably the type of people who really communicate their emotions really well, who explain them to other people, who take time to themselves when they need it, who express it when they need it, and have that really balanced way of handling their emotions. I'm seeing for some of you guys, this is something that you've really worked on and earned in this life. Like, that's not the way it started, but now you've became this person and you've worked really hard on that. And that's sort of a reason that makes you really special and unique as well, is the fact that you had to really work hard to become this. And dealing with emotions is like no easy thing. Like, most people cannot express emotions in a healthy way. Most people are not raised to express emotions in a healthy way. Most parents aren't even capable of teaching their children to express emotions in a healthy way. And the fact that you guys are able to do this is really amazing, and that you guys have really gotten to the point of being able to do this if this wasn't something that you already knew how to do. Yeah, I'm seeing for some of you guys, you had to reparent yourself. I just heard as well. You had to really reteach yourself how to express emotions properly, but it's really showing, and people are really seeing that. Let's see, what else, pile 2? What makes you special? Sorry, what else, pile 3? What makes you special? What else, pile 3? What makes you special? So you have 9 of Emotions in reverse. I'm gonna get a couple more cards in that. So you got the 2 of Voices and the Fool. Okay, so I'm seeing that you guys have definitely been in situations where you were out of alignment, or where you were in situations where you were very confused, very lost, didn't really know which direction to go. Felt like you couldn't see the way forward, felt like things were very clouded and even scary, I'm hearing for you guys. But I'm seeing that you guys got yourself out of this. And the reason that you guys got yourself out of this and what makes you really special and unique is that when faced with this situation, you guys just completely realigned with yourself and listened to your intuition and trusted nothing but that. You guys had to take a leap forward. You had to jump out of this situation. You had to take a risk. You had to do something really big, I'm hearing, that like your spirits and guides were calling you to do, and you did it, is what I'm seeing. And that you guys, and that could even be like a pattern in your life. When you're called to do something, you just do it. You don't ask questions, you don't overthink it, you just do it. Even if things feel lost, even if you feel out of alignment, even if you're scared or things are confusing, I'm seeing that you guys really trust your heart, you trust your intuition, and you take the risks and the movement forward necessary. I'm seeing that some people have really seen you take some big risks in your life, and that like they see that as so empowering. I'm not even seeing that necessarily needed to work out. I'm just seeing that they see that as so empowering, or that people look at you as such an empowering person because you're not afraid to take those risks. You're not afraid to take those jumps. A lot of people are very scared and anxious and so worried about the outcome of things, or so worried about how things work out. And I'm seeing that you guys aren't the type of people to worry about that. You guys are the type of people who are okay with taking a jump or a risk or a leap and seeing how it plays out and just learning from the experience. You guys aren't worried about failing. I'm seeing you guys are just so okay with taking a leap, especially if you feel like that leap is in alignment with you, or that leap is what you're being called to do, or if you're leaping away from something that's not in alignment with you. I'm seeing. Let's see what else. We got the Two of Inspiration and the Muse of Inspiration. So I'm seeing that you guys are definitely very confident people, very passionate people. Yeah, and that just because you're taking risks and just because you're going after what you want doesn't mean that you haven't put a plan forward. I'm seeing that you guys actually are very good at having plans. And one of the reasons why you guys are good at planning is because you guys really have a higher perspective on things. You guys can really see the way forward very clearly because you trust your intuition so much. You trust the divine source, whatever you believe in, but you trust it a lot. So you're able to see things with a great clarity, I'm seeing. Yeah, I'm seeing that when faced with a challenge, you guys are really good at taking a step back, slowing down, realigning with your own energy, and really trying to picture the way forward, or try to picture what's in alignment with you. And you guys just kind of get, I'm seeing people who like meditate and get a vision. So some of you guys might actually be clairvoyant, I'm seeing as well. But you guys are really good at envisioning that and finding your way out of difficult situations, I'm seeing. And you guys are also very confident in your decisions. Like, you know that once you're going to take a risk, or once you're going to take a jump, or once you're going to do something, regardless of how crazy it looks like to other people, you know it's in alignment with you. You know it's the right thing for you, and you are so confident with moving forward and doing that. Let's see what else. I'm also seeing that you guys would really make good leaders as well, that you guys are very good leaders. I'm hearing that you know how to show others the way as well, that you will lead others in the right direction, that you give very good advice, that you help people find their life purpose very easily, or just very good with like giving direction and helping them find the way, I'm seeing. Wow, that's really good. I also heard very charismatic. You guys are very charismatic people. It's easy for you to get along with other people. It's easy for you to relate to other people. People see you as like very fun loving, I'm seeing as well. Like, some of you guys are like the life of the party, and if not the life of the party, and then just very good talkers. Like, very much the type of person that you want to have an ongoing conversation with, because I'm hearing that you guys are very balanced. You guys aren't very you're not erratic at all. You're not you're very stable, and you're good listeners, but you're also good talkers, so you're good at balancing a lot of energy, I'm seeing. So you also got the Six of Voices and the Death card. So I'm seeing that you guys have really had to change yourself in some drastic way. I'm seeing like there was definitely like a moment in your life that people saw you had to go from like one extreme to the other extreme, I'm really seeing here. And I'm seeing that you really had to change yourself internally was a big part of this as well. So like I said before, you may not have started off this emotionally balanced person. You may have grown up in a family that wasn't emotionally balanced, that either held back their emotions or expressed their emotions in a way that wasn't helpful. But you really had to work on yourself and change yourself and become this whole other person. I'm seeing this can play out for different ways for different people. Like, I'm seeing that people did see this change in you. So yes, I'm definitely seeing that there were internal changes, but if people didn't necessarily see the internal changes, I'm also seeing that like some of you guys even had some external changes that went with it at like the same time. So for instance, like you lost a lot of weight, or you had some kind of glow up, or you moved houses, or you moved away from an old lifestyle to a new lifestyle. But I'm definitely seeing that there were things in the physical too that people did see. And that people just see that like the person you are now versus the person that you were, the person that you started off as in this life, are completely different people. And like people just see that as so amazing and so special and so unique that you were able to change yourself so drastically in such a small period of time. I'm seeing like it's like you've had multiple lives in one lifetime. I'm seeing. I'm also seeing that you guys are really good at transforming energy as well. So when faced with hard challenges, or when faced with endings, or when faced with things that are very difficult, you're really good at transforming them into something that's positive, transforming them into something that will benefit you. You're really good at going through things like that. Yeah, like obviously here, like we went through something that was really hard that has caused us to have to take some kind of risk. I'm definitely seeing movement for a lot of you guys. So a lot of you guys, this was moving houses, moving countries, moving yourself physically in some way. Also heard moving away from toxic relationships. So for some of you guys, like you grew up in toxic environments, or you had a toxic relationship later in life. Toxic marriages I heard as well, where you had to leave that relationship and move on to something else. And that was a big change for you that people saw, and that people think that like that's really unique and special about you, is the fact that you guys were brave enough to do that. I'm seeing a lot of you guys like were in situations where it was actually physically dangerous to take the risk that you did to move away from it, but you chose to, and it did work out. And people are seeing that and thinking, oh my gosh, like you're so brave, you're so strong, I can't believe that like you made this work. Okay, let's see what else we can get. Pile 3. What makes you special? So you got the Angel card, helping those in need with no expectation of return. So you guys are definitely very giving and kind people. You've definitely taken these lessons and experiences and hardships that you've went through and have used them to really help people, I'm seeing. You guys know how to give without needing to receive in return. So you guys aren't like the type of people who, like, when they give somebody that's, for example, a Christmas present, you're not the type of people who are sitting there thinking like, I spent $50 on their present, why did they only spend 20 on mine? Like, you're not the type of person who's really going to look into things like that. You're just like really happy to give in any way that you can, and you just feel like, I heard that you feel like the energy just comes back to you naturally or in an organic way. Like you trust that your angels and guides are going to keep you in a balanced state, so you're not really worried about whether or not someone gives back, or if things are equal. I'm seeing that also, like, you guys just like really enjoy giving. You enjoy the energy of giving, and you think that like helps you raise your vibration on its own. So you guys, yeah, you guys just aren't really concerned with whether or not someone gives back. I'm seeing that some of you guys are like earth angels, and so you guys really do have that really gentle, kind soul, and are meant to help the planet and collective in some way. I'm also seeing that you guys, I'm definitely seeing like you guys are like, could be like psychics or mediums. Like I'm seeing like some of you guys like actually communicate with the beyond in some way. So for some of you guys, like it is like passed on souls or passed on loved ones, but I'm seeing for other ones, like it's just like you communicate with your own angels really strongly, or you communicate with angels in some way, or you believe in angels, or you've had experiences with angels, I'm seeing. But I'm seeing that you really take this angelic energy with you through the things you do, and people like feel that, and people experience that. Like there's this very lighthearted energy that comes from you, but it's also not like, it's not like the same as like pile 2. I want to say like pile 2 had this really like light, innocent kind of energy, but I'm not getting the innocent part with you guys. I'm definitely getting that you guys have had like real experiences that have actually kept you very balanced and grounded. Like, I'm getting a very confident, a very grounded, a very good at moving through life on earth type of energy. Like, you guys aren't like all the way up in the clouds to the point where you can't ground yourself. You guys are definitely have mastered the ability to be on this earth, to interact with people, to really get people, to build those relationships, to exist here on a regular basis despite having this angelic energy in you. And that's truly amazing as well. I know a lot of people who have this angelic energy sort of get caught in their like crown chakra or their third eye chakra and just like haven't really like grounded themselves into those lower chakras. But I'm seeing for you guys, like, that's not a problem. You guys are very good at navigating earth life. You're very good at navigating your day-to-day tasks. You're very good at connecting with people, I'm seeing as well. I also know like a lot of people who are spiritual or have worked on those spiritual abilities really get to this point where they have a hard time getting other people who are living on earth, really understanding them. So like, for example, like the Starseed community, you'll hear like they feel like their home is somewhere else on a different planet, and so that they don't feel like they can connect with other people here. They don't seem to get how they act or how they behave. Whereas for you guys, I'm not really seeing that. I'm actually seeing you guys are very good at connecting with other people, that you really get other people, that your person's actually quite easy to talk to as well. So I'm seeing that you guys would actually make like very good counselors, very good teachers, very good people who interact with people on earth and really understand like the whole perspective on a situation. Like, I'm not just seeing one perspective here, I'm seeing multiple perspectives, and that you guys kind of get it all. All right, let's see what else. Pile 3, what makes you special and unique? We have Vampire. Makes you aware of something that is draining your life force. Oh my goodness, look at this like polar energy here. We got like this very light angelic card and this very dark card here. Like, funny, like, not the message of the card, and I will just go into the message of the card, but I'm just like really getting this very balanced energy, as I saw with you guys. Like, you guys have really had to reintegrate your shadow, I'm hearing. You guys have really had to accept those like darker parts of yourself and like forgive them and love them and even let them go. I'm seeing like most of your dark parts don't really exist in you anymore. Like, you don't go about life with those anymore because you've really like transcended them and accepted them and loved them to the point where they're like kind of all light now too. And even if you guys do have like shadow attributes, like everybody does, you guys have really loved and accepted them and just really like understood like how they benefit you, how they're a part of you, and are no longer in like any self-hatred kind of energy or any, if you ever were, or any kind of like low self-esteem energy. Like I said, you guys are very confident people, I'm seeing. But also what I'm seeing with this card is that when people are trying to drain you, or when people are trying to bring you down, I'm definitely getting like empathic energy over here too. So if you guys like resonate with being an empath and people are trying to drain you and get you down, or just being around people is draining you and getting you down, I'm seeing that you guys are very good at knowing when to walk away from that, when to let it go, when to move yourself away from that energy. I'm also seeing you guys are very good at not even letting that energy get to you. Like, you're so confident and so like solid in yourself that you don't let other people's negative energy get you down. I'm seeing you don't let people, people's judgments or people's criticisms like make you feel bad in any way. You just kind of let it brush right off of you, I'm seeing, and that's very special as well. Because a lot of people do struggle with that. Like, when people are judging them or making them feel bad, like they allow themselves to feel like they need to change, or they allow themselves to feel like they are the problem, or they hold on to it in some way. And I'm definitely feeling for you guys like you don't. You know that that's their energy. You know that that's their problem, and you let that swipe right off of you, I'm seeing. Let's see, what else makes you guys special? Pile 3, what makes you guys special? We got 2. So we got Priest, facilitates spiritual commitment, serves as a channel of spiritual energy. And Child Divine, innocence, purity, and redemption, suggests a special connection with the divine. I'm actually seeing that you guys are like sort of like a continuation from pile number 2 in the way that like pile 2 might have been, and if you guys like didn't read pile 2, you can definitely check it out for this, but pile 2 might have been sort of where you started out or where you used to be, but this is sort of like an expansion of like once you grew a little bit more, you actually became this. So yes, I'm seeing that there is innocent energy in you guys, but that it's not as apparent anymore as maybe it used to be. Like, I'm seeing that you guys like used to be like very pure, very kind, very very noticeable innocent souls, and like some people even saw that as like naive or inexperienced in some way. And I'm not saying that that was necessarily true. That's just kind of like how people viewed you. Whereas now in the present moment, people would not view you that way. People probably don't even realize how innocent and pure you are underneath this. And that's because you guys have like really put together some much needed boundaries, I'm seeing. Like I said, you guys don't let this energy bother you anymore. Whereas in pile 2 or in the previous energy, I'm seeing that like at that time, you may have let that bother you, or you may have let that get to you a little bit more easily. Whereas now, like, it doesn't even affect you. It like brushes right off of you. You don't even spend the time of day on this energy. And it's because you guys have worked on those boundaries. But overall, inside, like, this innocent pure soul really does still exist because it is who you are. And I'm seeing that you guys are very much connected to the divine. You're very spiritual. You're very in touch, right? Like, in order to be following your intuition in these difficult situations and taking these leaps of faith and getting yourself into alignment so easily, like, you definitely have to have a very strong connection with the divine. So I'm not shocked to see these cards pop up. Definitely seeing that some of you guys actually channel as well, like, and of course, again, like, in order to find your intuition, that's kind of a form of channeling as well. But I'm seeing that for you guys, like, you might even share messages with others by channeling spiritual energy. Like I said, some of you guys are actually like channeling your ancestors, you're channeling angels, like you guys have psychic gifts in some form. But yeah, definitely seeing very connected with your angels, with your guides, with divine, with spirit, with the universe, whatever you believe in, you're very connected to it. And like people can almost see this from you. I'm seeing that you guys like almost have like, yeah, I'm seeing like a white aura for some of you guys. Like some of you guys like just, some people see you as this like really bright spiritual energy. Like they just know that like spirituality has become a part of you to the point where like even your conversations just emit this spiritual divine knowing energy. Some of you guys, I'm also seeing a yellow aura here as well. It's very sunshiny, very happy, very connected energy. Yeah, and I'm seeing that's what makes you unique and special as well, is that you guys are always channeling the divine. In almost every conversation you have, I'm seeing that you channel the divine in some way, that you're listening to your spirits and guides to figure out what to say, how to connect with people. And that's why you get everybody on such a good level too. You're not hiding away from people anymore, because at this point, like, you've went through your shadow work, you went through the parts in yourself that you've had to heal, you've accepted those parts of yourself, and you love those parts of yourself. So when you see those parts in other people, like, you can actually be a very compassionate person because you get it. You went through that yourself. You understand where it's coming from. You understand what their inner fears are. You understand what their inner anxieties are. You understand what might be the underlying reason that might be causing their inappropriate behavior. And you've got strong boundaries as well. So you're not even on the defense because you're not going to let their energy get you down. So actually, you guys are very good at talking to these people because you keep this innocent, pure, loving light for them without allowing them to drain you. So it's a really beautiful energy I'm seeing here. Yeah, I'm definitely getting that like earth angel energy again. Like you guys were definitely like sent down from like the divine to help the planet in some way, to definitely guys are light workers. Like you're definitely meant here to help bring the light to the planet, and you guys have done all the work and done all the things that were necessary to get yourself to this space, and you're here now and you're ready to spread your light. And it's so beautiful. Like I'm struggling to describe how beautiful this energy is, but it's amazing. Let's see, what else? Pile number 3, what else do you need to know that makes you special? Pile 3. Oh, that's too many cards. Pile 3, what makes you special? Okay, give me a second card. Like every card in the deck wants to pop out. Pile 3, what makes you special? Pile 3. We have solitude, but it came out in the reverse. It's so funny, actually. Well, like what I got with that wasn't that you guys like don't take time in solitude. It's actually that you guys are very balanced at it. So like I said, if you guys, like, if it resonates that pile 2 was like your energy, like maybe in that period of your life, or maybe in a previous period of your life, you had to spend a lot of time in solitude, you had to spend a lot of time meditating, you had to spend a lot of time getting to know yourself. But in the present moment, I'm seeing like it's no longer necessary. You're actually very good at connecting with people. You're actually very good at sharing those relationships. But you also know when to take a step back and to reconnect with your own energy. Yeah, like super amazing energy here, guys. Like you guys are very, very far along in your spiritual path. I'm seeing like you guys have really gotten to that space where you are balancing out both these energies. Like you're not like so spiritual that you're sitting there in a shrine not talking to anybody, but you're not so unspiritual that like you're talking to people and allowing them to drain you either. You've really hit the balance. You've really hit the sweet spot, I'm seeing, where if somebody does start draining you, if somebody does start like, if their energy bothers you in some way, like you will take the step away from them, you will walk away, you will just take the time to reconnect with yourself, you will make yourself into a high vibration again easily, and you will get back out there to connect with other people. Wow, absolutely amazing, guys. Let's see what else. We have truth. This one tried to pop out earlier when I was getting the whole deck of cards. But I'm glad it did pop out again. So yeah, you guys know the truth of everything, like such higher perspectives I'm seeing. And I'm seeing that you guys don't just like resonate with your own truth or your own experiences, but you also resonate with other people's as well. In fact, you guys are so open-minded that you guys can have a belief, have an experience, have something that like is true to you and is close to your heart, that like is what you believe about life. And then come face to face with somebody who believes like the entire opposite and still see their perspective and still understand it and still be compassionate for them, and not even like, it's not even like you're looking at them as like, it's actually higher vibrational than if you were to like look at somebody like you're wrong but I can accept that. Like you guys are actually higher vibrational at that, where you guys can actually see the truth within it. I'm seeing like you guys are actually at that point where you can look at them and say, I know that there's a little bit of truth in what you're saying. I know that there's a reason you're sharing this with me right now. I know that there's a reason that this opposite opinion has came to my attention, and I know that it's actually going to help me balance out in some way. In fact, I know that both of our truths are equal. I know both of our truths are true. I know that there's not one truth, and I can accept both these truths. Like you guys are that high vibrational that you guys are able to see both. Like you don't need to just accept your own. You're beyond the part where you just have to accept their truth is different than yours. You're like at the point where you can accept all truths as truth. Wow. It's actually kind of hard to explain this energy because you guys are just like that high vibrational. It's really amazing. Unconditional love. Like we're getting like all the spiritual cards here. Yeah, you guys admit unconditional love wherever you go. It doesn't matter the person's experience. It doesn't matter what the person's doing. It doesn't matter how they are. Like you get it. You understand like what experiences might have led to them to act a certain way. You understand what like unhealed trauma they might be going through. You understand you understand like all parts of it. I'm seeing like, and you guys can truly unconditionally love people because you're not confused by a person's actions anymore. You get it. You really do understand people on a very intuitive level. And you know, like some people will like unconditionally love a person where like I'm gonna send love to everybody anyways, even when I don't get it. Like I said, you guys are at the next stage. You're no longer just sending love to everybody even when you don't understand them. You're now at the stage where you're sending love to people, but you're also understanding them because you've just had so many experiences in your lifetime that have helped you empathize with everybody. Like super empaths I'm seeing as well, that you can actually understand like what would cause their experience. So like for example, like if somebody, you walk into a grocery store and somebody's yelling at the worker in the store and putting them down and saying like, how dare you have ran out of my salsa, I know you have some in the back, and the coworker's explaining how like they know there's none in the back and they don't want to go back there and check because they know there's none there. And like you see this like fight go, and like you can just like look at it and be like I totally understand like how that person might be very frustrated, and like you understand sort of like what might have led to that. Like, oh, this person's showing fear right now, their fear of not getting the salsa, there must be something very important linked to the salsa. Like maybe they have a family occasion that's coming up, maybe they've had a lot of bad things happen that day that have made the salsa particularly important to them. You know, and like I can't like fully explain it because it's going to be different for every situation, but like I'm getting that you guys almost intuitively know what happened. Like you guys actually do know the truth of that story. You know what happened. And if you don't know the truth, just like intuitively, I'm getting that like a quick conversation with that person would literally like just completely paint the picture for you, and you can just completely understand them. So actually like really full understanding of a person, and understanding that like that person yelling at the grocery store person while they're making a choice that isn't nice, it's not high vibrational, you understand that like it doesn't paint the whole picture of them, it doesn't make them a bad person, it doesn't mean that like you don't put them into any box, you just say like this person's having a hard time in this moment, and so is the person they're talking to. But yeah, very like high vibrational look on things I'm seeing. So we also got restriction in reverse and bravado in reverse. So I'm seeing these as energies that you've overcame, and sort of what's gotten you to this like high vibrational state is that maybe in the past you used to be a person who really had that black and white thinking. Like I said, you don't put people into boxes, but maybe in the past you did. Or maybe in the past you did look at things as like good or bad or black and white, and now you look at things as in like there's all kinds of colors. Like you don't see bad and good anymore. You don't see black and white anymore. You see like the entire rainbow I'm seeing, and that you've gotten yourself out of this. I'm also seeing for some of you guys like you really had to overcome anxiety. You had a lot of anxious thoughts that were holding you back, that were keeping you stuck in your head, that you felt like you couldn't move forward because all directions were bad, or that you couldn't you couldn't move forward because all directions were bad. And then you took the leap and you decided, you know what, I'm just going to listen to my angels and guides, I'm just going to take that risk, and I'm just going to hope it works out. And when you did this, it's when you transformed, is when you became this amazing person. And you really freed yourself from this lock. Like this lock's no longer here anymore. I'm seeing it's wide open. Your whole your brain's wide open, your sight is wide open, all your chakras are wide open and connected. Like you really just get things now, and you really trust in the universe, and you don't allow fears to hold you back anymore. When you hear yourself being guided in a direction, you just do it. With this one, I'm seeing that like at one point in your life, or early on in your life, you could have like felt like people were trying to control you, or people were trying to prevent you from doing things, or you need to be like rebellious in some way to the rules. Like that might have been something that you actually went through at some point in time, where like, and this is a good thing to go through, by the way, it's very important in the spiritual journey that we do learn that, you know, not all rules are for us, or that we don't need to always play it safe and follow all the rules. So I'm seeing that this could have been something that you went through that helped you too, is that you went through a period of time where you felt very trapped by the rules, where you felt very trapped by society, where you felt very trapped by other people, and you felt like they were trying to control you, or you felt like, and for some of you guys, like I said, there was actually toxic abusive relationships, so there could have actually been people in your life trying to control you and had that intention. But for others of you guys, it's just like you felt like society was trying to control you. You felt like you, for example, you had to get a 9-to-5 job, and if you didn't get a 9-to-5 job, you weren't going to be able to pay your rent, you weren't going to be able to pay your bills, so you're kind of stuck in that loop that we all get ourselves in. And like, because of these experiences, and because of you like getting to this rebellious point where you felt like you need to break out, again, like we see a big risk here. You took a big risk and released yourself from these things. But then also on an even higher vibrational level, after you did all of that, you may have went through a stage where you felt like everybody was trying to control you, or everybody was trying to keep you from doing what you're meant to do. And you sort of saw everybody as an enemy for a period of time. And this is especially if you went through abuse. Like this is a very common sort of trauma response to that, where if someone was actually trying to control you, and then you get out of that relationship, you sort of see everybody else as trying to control you. But I'm seeing for some of you guys, you definitely went through similar energies to that, and that you freed yourself from that too, and you realized that that people didn't have that intention, that like that actually wasn't true, and that actually wasn't the whole picture, and there was actually a lot more to it than people just wanting to control you. Like even when we are talking about like abusive situations and like a narcissist, for example, like yes, they might be trying to control you on a surface level, but like internally it's because they're scared of not having that control. They're scared of what happens if they can't control their environment, likely because they went through some kind of abuse too. But I'm also seeing that you guys learn to, and again, like I really got anxiety vibes, some of you guys learn not to not to need so much control in your own lives either. Like I said, the main point of this reading is that you surrendered to the divine. So you surrendered your control, you surrendered your need to plan everything, you surrendered your need to know what's going to happen, you surrendered your need to see everything before it happens or to always be in the know. Instead, you just trust the divine now, and that's the real important energy, is that you've let this go. And I'm just gonna get one more card. Oh, we got Life Force. So I'm seeing a big part of your guys' journey is that you really healed your sacral chakra, and that allowed you to be more creative and more in flow as well. Some of you guys are working on creative projects or are working on helping the world in some way creatively. Yeah, I'm seeing that you guys like really freed yourself in your chakra. Some of you guys like really did chakra work is what I'm really getting from that. But that because of whatever energy work you did, or even just like what this leap of faith did for your energy, is like now you're attracting people to you. Now you're attracting experiences that are in alignment to you. Now you're attracting whatever it is you want to you, and it's very easy, I'm seeing, because you guys have gone to yourself to the state where you're in alignment. I'm seeing that you guys also learned to release your need for pleasure. So like I said, like with this like anxious energy, if this is true, you guys went through like a period of a lot of anxiety. I'm seeing that what you used to do is like, and this is what most people do, like 99% of people, but most people, when they're feeling some kind of state of anxiety, and we're even taught this in childhood, is to somehow like provide themselves some kind of pleasure to get through that anxiety. So for example, having a chocolate bar when you are feeling down or depressed, or watching a good TV show, or eating fast food. Even like, we are kind of taught growing up that the way to deal with our emotions is to somehow engage in something that gives us pleasure so that we don't have to feel the emotion. And I'm seeing that you guys transcended this and got through this and realized like how to manage your emotions in a healthy way, so you were no longer relying on things outside of yourself to heal you. And I'm not saying there's anything bad with having pleasure in your life, like absolutely in moderation, enjoy the pleasures of life. That's not what I'm saying. But most people use pleasure in a way that is a way to just simply cover up our emotions or push down our emotions or to make our emotions go away. And it's simply because most people don't know how to handle their emotions. And most people are never taught how to handle their emotions because their parents don't know how to handle their emotions either. And I'm seeing that you guys get this and got through this. I'm seeing that like, yeah, you guys just like are no longer relying on pleasure-seeking activities to cover up your emotions. You now have balanced your emotions and are now able to express them appropriately. Beautiful energy, pile number 3. I'm so happy to have done your reading today. This is absolutely amazing. You guys are truly special and unique souls, and I really hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you so much for watching. Bye now.